Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this session. If my voice is audible, please let me know on the chat. Yes, great. Thanks for letting me know that I am audible. Happy Diwali to all of you. Hope all of you are having a great Diwali. And welcome to this session. This session is a WIPRO Elite NLTH Masterclass on verbal ability, like you already know. And today we are going to talk about or discuss a few questions on verbal ability, the kind of questions that appear in WIPRO Elite exams. So Rafat, the answer to your question is on the chat. So WIPRO is yet to make an official announcement. So meanwhile, we have started preparing. So we have started helping you to prepare. So whenever it's announced, you are ready for the test. All right. Okay, so my name is Pratibha and let us start with this evening's session. A little about us, Ethnus. So what have we been doing all these years? Helping students to realize their dreams. The dreams that they have for their careers, the dreams related to their jobs. So we help them prepare for the various tests, help them prepare for interviews and organize placement drives. So we have helped them and are helping them to realize their dreams in different ways. And we have been doing that for the past 14 years. We conduct a lot of sessions. We conduct a lot of sessions online. We have a lot of information to share related to different placement tests. We help organize placement drives. So information about all of this is available on our Telegram channel called Ethnus Codemithra. If you are not already part of it, you should join it. The link is on the chat. Please do join. Alright, so now we start with what we are here for, the WIPRO Elite NLTH test, verbal ability. So there will be a section on verbal ability. It could be a separate section or it could be mixed with the other aptitude questions, and WIPRO generally follows the AMCAT pattern. Okay, so let us look at a few questions. We have already had one session related to verbal ability. This is the second session on verbal ability, and in the WIPRO series, this is the 7th masterclass that we are having. So what I'll do is I will display a question and give you some time to answer, and then we will discuss the answer as usual. Okay, so this is your question and you have a minute to answer. Please let me know your response or which is your answer on the chat. You have a minute. Alright, so I see option C as the answer. That is what most of you are saying, at least. I don't know if it is right. We will see. Okay, so your time is up and we will discuss what the answer is. Alright, so they have asked you to select the best sentence and given you three similar sentences, not exactly the same, but there is a lot of similarity there, right? So alright, so the first sentence is Jane is a great author, dancer and writes songs. In the second sentence it becomes Jane is a great author, dances and writes songs. Jane is a great author, dancer and songwriter. Okay, so this part is the same in all the sentences. Here dancer has become dances and here it is dancer too and here it is songwriter, right? Now most of you have said C is the answer and you are all right. C is the answer. Probably quite a simple question this is, but I have kept this question for a particular reason, okay, to explain the rule of parallelism. Okay, there is a rule of parallelism when it comes to sentence structuring. And what is this? What is the meaning of this word? What is the meaning of this rule? It means that there has to be a balance between different kinds of words, different phrases used in the sentence. Okay, especially in this case, it is a list. Why are we calling it a list? There are three items on this list. One is that Jane is an author. Second is that she's a dancer. Third is that she writes songs. So there are three items on this list, and these items have to be the way they are written has to be similar. Okay, in the first sentence it is not similar. Why? Author, dancer is fine, but then you say and write songs. So you know that this is a noun, this is a noun, and suddenly you have used a verb, right? So it is not okay. Here one is a noun, two are verbs, but in the final one, this is the author is a noun, dancer is a noun, songwriter is a noun. So all the three are similar. Right? So this is the best way to write the sentence. So this kind of rule is applicable to many questions asked in company aptitude tests. All right, where you have to follow the rule of parallelism. Okay, this is a fairly simple one and all of you got it right. Great. But remember this rule and remember that when we are talking about sentence structuring, this rule is important. Okay, so there has to be a balance. Like there's a balance in this sentence number C, right? Noun, noun, noun. All the three are similar. Okay, so that is the answer and great that all of you got it right. So now let's move on to the second question. If you have any questions, please let me know on the chat. If there is something that you have to say or there's something that you did not understand, please let me know on the chat. Meanwhile, I will move to the next question. Okay. So what you need to do is, you need to say, give me which option I can use instead of the word in bold, which is advocated. Okay. And your time starts now. So decide which is the right option. So you can write A, B, C or D. You have a few seconds more. Okay, I see A, B, few A's and a few B's. I think it's a 50-50 between A and B. Okay, time's up. So yes, so nobody is even talking about C and D, so looks like the answer is between A and B. Let's check. Okay, so he advocated the idea that happiness is possible only if one learns to distance oneself and be apathetic. Okay, so that is the sentence given. And here, if you've seen, sometimes they just give you a word and ask you to write the synonym. They will give you 4 options and you have to select the synonym or the word closest in meaning to the word given, right? Here the difference is that they have given you a sentence. They have bolded one word and asked you the synonym. This is similar to this is a synonym question. The only difference is that you have been given a sentence, right? And the choices given are explained, expounded, espoused. Okay, all 3 of them sound similar, and then there's none of these. Okay, now explained, you know what it means. I don't have to explain explained, right? Expounded, what is expounded? Expounded is explain in detail. Okay, what is espoused? Espoused is when you adopt, support, recommend. That in these when you mean these things, you use the word espoused. Adopt, support, recommend. Okay, and none of these, of course. So if we need to decide which is the right answer, we have to of course know what this means, right? He advocated the idea. So when you say advocated the idea, advocated is publicly support or recommend. Publicly support or recommend. Now explained is not that, so this is definitely not the answer. Expounded is explain in detail, and advocated doesn't mean explained in detail. Espoused means, I said already mentioned to you that it means support, recommend. So adopt or support would be the meanings of espoused. So this also means support. So this is the right answer. Okay, this is not, there is one answer in the given option, so none of these is not the answer. Okay, so that is what espoused, so that is what advocated means, espoused. Okay, now to get a word like this right, you need to know the meaning of the word advocated as well as the meaning of the words given, right? Otherwise you will not be able to decide which is the right answer. So when you come across a new word, I suggest you make a note of it. So if that word happens to come again in any test, you will be able to figure out what it means. Okay, sometimes it's very clear from the sentence what it means, but in this case these are kind of we are not able to differentiate. If you don't know the meaning, they all sound kind of similar. We don't know, right? So we have to know the meanings of the words, which means our vocabulary has to be good. All right, so yes, somebody earlier I think had asked about comprehensive reading, how to improve, and you can see the answer on the chat. So yes, to improve, you've got to do a lot of reading. Okay, do a lot of reading, a lot of listening, so you are able to understand things quickly. That is important. So not only understanding, maybe if you read the same thing 10 times over, you'll be able to understand. So for those who did not get what I'm saying, Shubham had asked about how to improve comprehensive reading skills. So what you need to do, I'm saying, is that you need to habituate yourself to reading, listening, understanding things, making a point to understanding things quickly. Okay, that is from the general perspective. Other than that, from strictly the exam perspective, practice comprehension, practice answering comprehension passages, learn different shortcuts. We do learn comprehension. We have done sessions in our various masterclass sessions that we have held, where we have dealt exclusively with comprehension. So do look at our playlist. There are sessions that we did for Tech Mahindra where we have spoken about comprehension. So you will know what are the shortcuts you can use, what are the tricks you can use. All right, Shubham? So Jiva asks, suppose these kind of words are unknown to us, what have we to do? Well, if there is no negative marking, generally there isn't, right? You'll have to make a calculated guess. Okay, if you can make a calculated guess where you can surely eliminate two options, then you know you have only two options remaining, so chances of your going right are higher. Or if you don't know that one option, but you definitely know that the other three are wrong, then the one remaining is the answer, right? So those are calculated guesses. However, if you don't know any of those words, you will have to try to figure out from the sentence given, or from maybe you knew about it, you had heard of the sentence, you have heard the word earlier, in what context you had heard of the word. You will have to think of these things and try to give the answer. Okay? All right. Thanks for your question, Jiva. Let us now go to the next question. All right, so here you have been given a sentence and you are being asked, instead of the underlined part, what should you write? Okay, one of those is the same as the underlined part, so read it quickly. You have a minute's time. All right, so time's up. Let us look at the answers. Okay, before we look at the answers, Ramchandran is asking when does it start. So like I mentioned a little earlier, WIPRO is yet to announce the dates of the NLTH. Okay, they are expected to make the announcement sometime soon. Please do join our Telegram channel, Ramchandran. As soon as WIPRO announces, we will put it up there. Okay, right now we are preparing for it because they might announce the test dates anytime, and we would like you to be prepared. All right. Okay, so let's look at the answers. Meanwhile, just let me know on the chat whether my voice and the screen is clear. Is there any problem with hearing me? My voice is there an issue, and is the screen visible clearly? Could you let me know on the chat? Okay. As I wait for your answers, let me look at the options. So you'll say option B. Okay, option B is what you say is the answer. Let us look at and see if option B is indeed the answer. All right, Nikhil, Lavanya, all of you. So there is no problem. Jiva says there's a little bit of problem. All right, hopefully it's fine. Let us move on and discuss the answer here. Yes. So most of you said option B is the answer, right? Okay. So let us look at the given sentence. His business has doubled with respect not only to its market capitalization, but also made a significant contribution towards gobbling up the lesser players ruthlessly. Okay. And you all said that this is the answer. All right. Okay. So let me just explain, go to another slide to explain this, and then we'll come back here. Okay. So this is the given sentence. Now, what do you notice in this sentence? There are the conjunctions not only but also. Okay. These appear in pairs when not only comes but also comes, right? Not only and but also, they appear as a pair. Now, remember our rule of parallelism, right? There should be a balance. Now, even in this kind of sentence, there has to be a balance. Okay. Why? Because there are these two things. And, okay. Now, both of these are conjunctions. Whatever comes after not only and whatever comes after but also, there has to be a balance between the two. Okay. So, now for example, look at the given sentence. His business has doubled with respect not only to its market capitalization. So, after not only, what do we see? To its market capitalization. Here, after but also, made a significant. Okay, I will not write the full thing, but I hope you understand what I am saying. After not only they have written to its market capitalization, but after but also they are saying made a significant contribution. Now, according to the rule of parallelism, this and this has to be similar. Okay. So, if after but also there is a made, which is a verb, right? Made is a verb, right? Even after not only, you have to have a verb. But if you look at after not only, there is no verb at all. To its market capitalization, there is no verb, right? So, this is definitely not correct. Now, let us look at what are the other sentences. So, this one, with respect not only to its this one is definitely wrong because this is the same as the given sentence. Okay. Now, look at the sentence which you all gave as the answer. His business has doubled not only with respect to. Now, here, what are you all saying? After not only, it should be with respect to. This is fine. Made significant something is the same thing, but you are saying with respect to. Now, when you say with respect to, let us go back to this. Has doubled not only with respect to its market capitalization. Again, there is no verb. Here there is a verb, but also is followed by a verb. But here after not only, again there is no verb. So, this is also not the answer. Okay. Look at option C. His business has not only doubled with respect to its market capitalization, but also made a significant contribution. Okay. Now, if you look at this sentence, has not only is followed by doubled, which is a verb, but also is followed by a verb, right? So, that is likely to be the correct answer, but let us not jump to conclusions. Let us quickly look at the one remaining option. His business has not doubled with respect to its market capitalization, but also. Now, we can't say not followed by but also. The pair is not only but also. So, this is definitely wrong because of this, right? So, the right answer, like we discussed earlier, is option C. Okay. So, just look at it for a few more seconds. Just think about the explanation that I have given you, and if you still have questions, let me know on the chat. Okay, I have got a few responses to my earlier question about whether everything is clear, the audio, the video. Thank you for letting me know. So let me know if this explanation is clear now, okay? Where we have applied the rule of parallelism, let me know if the explanation is clear. Waiting for your responses. So if there's any question, if there's something that you did not understand in this particular question, let me know. So Vijaya, when you say yes, I understand that yes, it is clear, right? Okay, all right. So I am getting your responses which says it's clear. Thank you. So remember, keep that rule in mind, okay? So with that, let us move to the next question. If I see anybody asking any question related to this, if I see later, I will address it later. You can type your question. Meanwhile, I will go to the next question. Okay. So this is fill in the blanks and your time starts now. Need not take a minute actually, but that's fine. We'll wait till timer shows 1 minute. So Lavanya is asking the meaning of ruthlessly. Ruthlessly is heartlessly, cruelly. Okay, so that's the meaning of ruthless. Alright, meanwhile I am getting answers. B, C, D is what I see. Okay. Alright, so somebody says A too. I thought A was missing. Alright, so we have A, B, C and D as the answers. Now we need to know which is the right one. Ramesh is dash taller than Mahesh. Okay. As tall, if not, as tall, as if not, tall if not, tall as if not. Okay. Now in these, one is definitely not correct. Okay. I mean, from even while you say it, you know that it is not correct, which is this one. Ramesh is tall, as if not taller than Mahesh. That doesn't make sense, right? So we can eliminate this. This is one thing that you need to remember, not just for this question, for any question. If there is something that you can eliminate immediately, okay, you know that it's definitely wrong, eliminate it first, because then that leaves you with fewer options. You also feel that it is much simpler and it takes much less time, right? So D is definitely not the answer. Now going back to the remaining three options, okay. Ramesh is as tall, if not taller than Mahesh. Now that sounds okay. Ramesh is as tall as, if not taller than Mahesh. Ramesh is tall, if not taller than Mahesh. Okay. Now while we talk conversationally, we use all these. We say Ramesh is as tall, if not taller than Mahesh. Ramesh is tall, if not taller than Mahesh. While we talk, we use this. However, these two are not grammatically correct. Okay. When you say Ramesh is as tall has to be followed by as, because there is no as here, right? There is no as later. There has to be an as tall, as something. So as has to be there, which is not here. So that is wrong. Ramesh is tall, if not taller. Now Ramesh is tall means different. Ramesh is taller than Mahesh means different, right? So Ramesh is tall, you can say, but you can't say Ramesh is tall if not taller. Okay, that's like I said, conversationally we might say it, but it is not the right thing to say. So when you're comparing, it has to be as something as. Okay, Ramesh is as tall as. Just like you can't say taller Mahesh, you have to say taller than Mahesh. Likewise, it has to be as tall followed by as. So all those who said B, pat yourselves on the back, you got it right. And if you all said it's A, C and D, never mind. Now you know why option B is the answer. So let me know if this is clear, and if there is any doubt or a question, please put it on the chat too. If there's something that you did not understand, let me know. Option B is the right answer. If it's clear also, let me know, so I know I can move to the next question. Okay, so let me move to the next question. All right, so here is a set of sentences, the same sentence written in different ways. So you have to tell me which one is right. Okay, you need to tell me which one is right. A, B, C or D. So Nikhil is asking, this is about the earlier question. Can we say Ramesh is as tall as Mahesh? Yes, we can say Ramesh is as tall as Mahesh, but that will make that sentence very long, right? If we are writing taller than also. Ramesh is as tall as Mahesh, if not taller than Mahesh. There we are being repetitive, right? If it's only we are not talking about taller than, then that is fine, as tall as Mahesh. All right, Nikhil? Okay, the others have said that it's clear. Now answer this one. So I will time you. I have not kept a timer here because this question is occupying the entire screen. Okay. So what you need to tell me is, among A, B, C and D, which sentence is correct? Thanks, Nikhil, for letting me know. Now answer this one. Okay, I've got one response which says D. What about the others? No negative marking here. You can please go ahead and give me your answers, whatever you think is right. Everybody. So another Shravanti says C. Okay. What about the others? Okay, I get C. All right. Okay, so A, C, D is what I get as the answers. So let us see which one is right. Okay. A, C and D is what you all said. Okay. Now, when they give you sentences like this, they will probably give you long sentences because it will take you some time to figure out. The question may be simple, but it will take some time for you to figure out which is the correct one, which is the wrong one, and 4 similar sentences. It can get a little confusing, right? Okay, so now let's look at the first part. See, instead of reading the entire thing, this is a 3-line sentence. By the time you finish here, decide which is wrong. Okay, this is, it might take time. So what I suggest is, so this sentence, starts with there were great something, right? So let us look at only the first part of the sentence and see if we can eliminate, right? Remember I told you, if you can eliminate, then that's the best thing, because your options are fewer, right? Now look at this. There were great stable where a dozen groom something. Okay. Now there were great stable. Is that correct? First of all, when you know there is were, there is no it means it has to be stables. It can't be there were great stable. So there were great stable. This sentence itself is wrong. You don't even need to look at the rest of it. The starting part of the sentence is wrong. Okay. So let us see if we can similarly eliminate other options. There were great stables. Now this sounds okay. There are great stables. There's nothing grammatically wrong there. There were great stables. Okay. All right. So A is out. B, C and D are still with us. Okay. So let us do a similar thing to the next part, another part of the sentence. Where a dozen grooms and boys held forth. Okay. So who is a groom? For those who don't know, when you're talking about grooms, we are not talking about bridegrooms here. Grooms are people who are who look after horses. Okay, they are hired to look after horses. So those are the grooms. Okay, so where a dozen grooms and boys held forth, that sounds okay. Where a dozen grooms and boys held forth, the same thing. Where a dozen grooms and boys held forth. Okay, so all the three say the same thing, which means it must be the right thing. However, there's a difference. Okay, now where a dozen grooms and boys held forth may be the same thing, but look at the first part. Here it says there were great stables, there are great stables, there were great stables. Okay, and look at the verb here, where a dozen grooms and boys held forth. Held is the past tense, right? Same thing, held, past tense. Now when there's a past tense here, is it okay to use the present tense here? There are great stables where a dozen grooms and boys held forth, right? So here this is the present tense, okay, and here this is the past tense. So this is not likely to be the right answer, because one part is in the it's not that never are there two kinds of tenses in one sentence, but here it is not likely to be right, because here you are saying there are and then you are talking about the past, right? So this is not likely to be the answer, so we will leave that and let's look at the remaining two. Okay, so till here both the sentences are fine. There were, held forth, there were, held forth. Now, rows of vine-clad servants' cottages, the third part of the sentence. Rows of vine-clad servants' cottages. Now, here there is a difference. Okay. Now, when we are talking about cottages, many. Okay. So, when we will be, not be talking about one servant's cottage. We'll be talking about multiple servants' cottages, and servant apostrophe s is written when we are talking about one servant. Servants apostrophe is written when we are writing about more than one. More than one. Okay. So both are possessives. Cottages of a servant, cottages of servants. That is what it means. Alright, but we cannot use servant apostrophe s cottages, because we would have said and moreover there are rows of them, right? Cottages, rows, that means it wouldn't be of one person, it would be of many people. So this would be correct, right? So this would be wrong. Here itself we know that this is wrong, but if you look at the rest of the sentence also, you will see an endless and orderly array. Array is nothing but an arrangement of outhouse. Again, if there's an arrangement of orderly arrangement of not outhouse, there should be more than one, right? Outhouses. Long grape arbor. Okay, arbor is nothing but I'm explaining meanings of words where I can, so that you make a note, because these words may be new, right? So arbor is nothing but a sheltered structure covered by creepers. Okay, so a grape arbor is a structure which is covered by grapevines. Okay, so if this was only one, we would have said a long grape arbor, right? But here it's long grape arbors. This is right. Green pasture, again we would have to say a green pasture, orchard and berry patch. Here it's grape arbors, green pastures, orchards and berry patches. Alright, so this is right. Mainly because of this, we know that this is incorrect. I'm sorry, I should have been looking at this. I looked at option C, this one. An endless and orderly array of outhouses, long grape arbors, green pastures, orchards and berry patches. This is the right answer. Okay, so option B, whoever said option B, I did see option B as the answer. Quite a few of you have written, not quite a few, I think, two of you, I think, have written option B as the answer. Yalla, right. Okay, I hope you understood why. And if something is not clear, let me know on the chat. And please follow the method that I explained, where you take the sentence part by part. Instead of looking at all the sentences, you can immediately eliminate. If the first part of the sentence itself is grammatically incorrect, you can straight away eliminate it, right? So that is what we try to do to save time. Okay, so if there is any question that you have, please let me know on the chat. So I'm waiting for your response, as in, are things clear, or is there a question? Okay, I'm asking because this is a slightly long question, long sentences. Okay. There doesn't seem to be any doubt. Shall I take it that it is clear and move on to the next thing? All right. So that's what I'll do. In case you do have, you can type in, and I will answer your question when I see it. All right. So let us move on to the next question. So option B is the right answer, in case you all missed out what the correct answer is. So let us move to the next question. Okay, so this is your question. And okay, Aman and Vijaya, thank you for letting me know that the earlier question was clear. Now we are moving to the next one. Your time starts now. So this is a direct indirect speech question. Nikhil, I didn't actually get your question. Are you asking if all long sentences will be of this kind? Are you asking that? Because if that was your question, that is not necessarily so. Here it is like this. Sometimes they give you a long sentence, and in one place there will be one subject verb agreement error. All right, in which case you might not be able to eliminate the first part. You might have to look a little ahead. So if that is your question, it is possible that the sentences are long, but it might not be similar. Okay. If you are asking something else, please do clarify. All right, so I see time's up and I see a lot of answers. Okay, A, B, C, D, I see everything, all the options as answers. So let us see which one it is. Okay, A, B, C and D is what I got. Let me see which one is the majority. I think A is the majority, looks like it. Let me see. Let's see if that's the answer. Okay. Which of the following is the right form of indirect speech of the sentence given below? Sumit said they have been on medication since yesterday. Sumit says that they have been on medication since the day before is one of the options. Sumit said that they are on medication since yesterday. Sumit said that he has been on medication yesterday. Sumit said that they had been on medication since the day before. Okay. Now, the question is clear, right? It's given in a direct speech. You have to convert it into indirect speech or reported speech. Indirect and reported speech mean the same thing. All right. Now, first of all, this sentence starts with Sumit said. Now, there's one thing that you need to remember. You know that said is in the past tense, right? Said is in the past tense. Now, you cannot, now this verb is called the reporting verb, in case you did not know. So we have a detailed, we have a session on direct and indirect speech in our Aptitude Essentials course, but here I am just explaining very quickly to you. This is called the reporting verb, okay? And as you see, this is in the past tense. Now, when you convert to indirect or reported speech, you cannot change the tense. This is the past tense. You cannot change that to future tense or present tense, which is what is happening here. Sumit said has become Sumit says, which is not okay. Alright, this was past tense, this is present tense, and you can't, the reporting verb tense cannot change. So you don't even need to look at what is there after this. So we eliminate, right, as much as possible. So the tense is wrong, the reporting verb tense is wrong, the option is wrong. Okay, so now you are left with only three options, B, C and D, and all say said. So unfortunately at this stage we cannot eliminate any of these, right? But let's look at what is there. Sumit said they have been on medication since yesterday. Okay, now here it says said that they. Here it says said that they, but look at what it says here, said that he. Now, we are converting direct to indirect speech. We are not converting singular to plural or plural to singular, right? They is plural. In reported speech, those people will not disappear and one will remain, right? We cannot change plural to singular. I hope you understand what I am saying. Here it is they, and here that has become he, which is not correct. You can't randomly decide that they has become he. In fact, you are conveying the wrong message. So, eliminated another one. That leaves us with only two options. Okay. See, when I am eliminating, there might be other errors in that sentence, but I am saying as soon as you come across one error, it means that that sentence is incorrect. You can just leave it, right? So that leaves us with B and D. Sumit said that they are on medication. Sumit said that they had been on medication. Okay. Now, have been is in the present perfect tense. Okay, are is simple present tense. Now, if you know the rules of converting direct to indirect speech, present perfect when converted to indirect speech has to become past perfect. Okay, so present perfect have been has to become past perfect had been and not simple present are on. Okay, are on medication means right now. Have been means you're talking about something that started earlier, right? So this also cannot be the answer. So have been gets converted to had been, present perfect gets converted to past perfect. So this is the right answer. And just in case you did not know, if you all have noticed, this yesterday has become the day before. So when we convert from direct to indirect speech, See, we can't say yesterday here. Okay, if you see these two options say yesterday, so that also is incorrect, right? We can't say yesterday because we don't know when Sumit said this, right? I don't know if Sumit said it today or yesterday or last week. So if I say yesterday, the meaning is like yesterday as in it's just one day, that is the day before today, right? But when I say the day before, I am talking about the day before Sumit said. So whichever day he said, the day previous to that. All right. So I'm sure many of you know that yesterday becomes day before, but I just explained in case you did not know. Okay. So option D is the right answer. The ones who said option D, good job. And I hope the ones who gave me other options, it's clear why D is the answer. If there is a question or any doubt, please let me know on the chat. Okay. So they can give you a question like this and tell you it can be direct to indirect or it can be indirect to direct, which will be a little more trickier maybe because then you do everything the other way around, right? Okay, so if there is anything, please let me know on the chat if there is any doubt that you have. Okay. Yes. So, Videsh, are you asking me? Is that a question? You're asking the difference between has and had. So, they have. So, if it was he, it would have been he has been. So, because it's plural, we write they have. So, they have been on medication, meaning they have started medication and right now also they are on medication. They had been on medication means we are talking about the past. Okay. And when we use the present perfect, we always use has and have. Okay. And when we use the past perfect, we use had. All right. So, time to move on to the next question. Okay. We go to a synonym question. These are your options. And your time starts now. So you need to select the right answer. You have a few more seconds. Okay, we are almost done and let me look at the options, the answers. B and D is what I see. B and D. Okay, I see A now. I see B. Okay, any more answers? C. Okay, so now we have all the options A, B, C and D. All right, but I think the majority says B, or I think it's B and D. There's a it's quite close between B and D. All right, so let's look at the answers, or let's look at the question first of all. Mark the option which is closest in meaning to the word credulous. Okay, now first of all, I don't think I need to tell you this, but I'm telling you anyways. Read the question carefully. They might be asking you the antonym, so read this part carefully, because one question was synonym, need not be that the next question is also synonym. It may be an antonym, right? Here it is synonym. Okay, now they have asked you the synonym of the word credulous. They have given you 4 choices. Okay, again it becomes a little difficult unless you know the meanings of the words. Okay, now credulous, first let us go to credible. Okay, let's go to the options first and then let's go to the given word. Okay. Now, credible means a person who is able to be believed. Okay. Able to be believed. For example, I got this news from a credible source. I got this news from a credible source, meaning a source whom I can believe. That source is one who is a person who can be believed. That is the meaning of credible. Okay. Discipline, you know, I don't need to explain the meaning of the word. Gullible. Gullible is a person who easily believes. Okay. That person is very gullible. I'm sure you have heard of this word. You might have called somebody gullible, or you think you yourself are gullible, which means somebody says anything and you easily believe that person, right? Then you are gullible. Okay. And incredible. So, incredible is something which is impossible to believe. Just like credible is able to be believed, incredible is impossible to be believed. But when we use it, though it means impossible to be believed, it means something really extraordinary. You would have heard the word incredible, right? That is an incredible feat. Okay. Somebody performed an incredible feat, F-E-A-T, right? Which means something that was really extraordinary. Something that we can't believe that such a thing can be done. So that is incredible. So we know the meanings of these 4 words now. That takes us to credulous. So if unless we know the meaning of the word credulous, we will not be able to select the right answer, right? So credulous means ready to believe things. Okay. Credulous means ready to believe. And ready to believe, which is the answer which matches that ready to believe? It is gullible. It is not credible, because credible means able to be believed. Discipline is not even connected with it. You can straight away eliminate it in the, if you know the meaning, of course. If you don't know, you can't eliminate. Incredible, we know, is extraordinary. Credulous is ready to believe. Gullible is easily believe. So this is your answer. Okay. So this is why you need your vocabulary to be good. And sometimes even if your vocabulary is good, you have heard of these words, it might get a bit confusing. There's credulous, there's credible, there is incredible, everything sounds the same, right? So you have to look at it a little carefully, and meanwhile, of course, do whatever you can to improve your vocabulary. All right. So all those who said C, you got it right. If you guessed it, well, now you know that your guess is right. If you did not guess it but still got it right, very good. So, any questions there? Yes, Nilanjan, C it is. All right. Okay, so I don't think there is anything that you want to ask. If you do, please put it on the chat. Meanwhile, I will go to the next question. Okay, another one. Another synonym question, and your time starts now. So you have to select the synonym just like you did for the earlier one. So Nikhil, to improve your vocabulary, read, listen, and as soon as you come across a new word, find out its meaning. Try to use that word. If it's not a word that you use in daily conversation, try to do it in your writing. When you write, you automatically use those, try to use those words. Okay, because if you just come across a word today, tomorrow you will have forgotten all about it. When does it remain in your mind? When you use it, when you note it down, when you look at it again. So that is how you improve. Just listening to the word is no use. You have to find the meaning, or find what it means, and then keep that in your mind. Okay. Pujashri, they keep, there is no fixed number of synonyms or antonyms they ask, but vocabulary questions are questions asked in the NLTH. Abhidip, we will provide you an update on our Telegram channel. Please do subscribe if you haven't. All right, so time's up. Let's look at this answer, and let me look at what are the answers you've given me. B, C and D is what I see. Okay. All right. So let us see whether it's B, C or D. Okay. All right. So they have given you the word persistent, and they have asked you for the synonym closest in meaning, right? So Armageddon, flagrant, tenacious, inconsistent. Okay. Now persistent is, I'm sure, a word that you know. Okay. And if you don't really know, what you can remember is the word persevere. Okay. So you know the meaning of persevere, right? Persistent is something similar where you're not, you continue, you're not going to, with some action, you're not going to stop, you continue with that action. That is being persistent. Okay. And persistent is an adjective. Okay. Now, when synonyms are asked, the synonym also has to be of the same, of the same part of speech. Right. So if an adjective is given, you can't have a verb as a synonym, right? You can't have a noun as a synonym. Now here, Armageddon is a noun, first of all. Okay, so it definitely can't be. That it doesn't have anything, in common with persistent is a different thing. But it's a noun, so it's definitely not. And Armageddon, as you would know, is a kind of catastrophic conflict. Okay, which a catastrophic conflict, one which destroys the world, that is called Armageddon. It has its origin in the Bible. We're talking about the last battle between good and evil, right? Now that is definitely not the answer. That leaves us with flagrant, tenacious and inconsistent. Okay, now persistent is continuing. You're not leaving something, you're continuing with it, or you are continuing with some action, right? You're persevering. Inconsistent, you know the meaning. So that is definitely not the meaning of persistent, right? Inconsistent is where you're not staying the same throughout, right? That is inconsistent. So that leaves us with flagrant and tenacious. Okay. Now, what does flagrant mean? Where you are doing something bad in a very obvious way. Okay. For example, flagrant flouting of rules. Okay, openly, it's a bad thing to do, breaking rules, and you're doing it openly. Okay, so that is flagrant. If that is something you did not know, make a note of it. So that and this have nothing in common. This is breaking of rules, obviously, openly. This is, persevering. So even if you do not know the meaning of the word tenacious, suppose you know this and this, A, B and D are not the answers, then that leaves you with tenacious. But tenacious, you also need to know the meaning. That is, you are not ready to let go. Tenacious means not ready to let go. Persistent means continue with the same action, persevere. So there is something common there, right? Here you are not willing to let go means you will stick on to it. Persistent also is you are not willing to let go, which means you are going to continue with it. So that is the closest. Okay, please make a note that these words sometimes may not be the exact replacements, but the question itself says closest in meaning, right? This is the one, closest in meaning. Tenacious is the answer. Okay, so all those who said C, great. And if there are these new words that you have come across, flagrant, tenacious, I hope you have made a note of the meanings of the words. If there's anything that you want to ask, please let me know on the chat. Okay, so that with that we finish today's session. Okay, so what we did today is we did a few questions related to synonyms, a few where we learned the rule of parallelism, and we learned how to eliminate choices when there are multiple options given, right? So these are the kind of questions that appear, these are some of the types of questions that appear in your WIPRO NLTH. So I hope this session has been useful, and like I said earlier, please do join our Telegram channel. We will be conducting more sessions, various company aptitude tests coming up. So master classes related to that, all the information you will get on our Telegram channel. So please do join our channel. The link is on the chat. Also, we have created some preparatory material, verbal preparatory material, which you can access. The link for that material is also on the chat. Please do have a look at it. It will be shared on the chat and you can save that link. So yes, the material link is there. And one more thing that we would like you to do is, so we love conducting these sessions for you, and I'm sure you all enjoy these sessions as well, right? So we would feel very encouraged to go on with these sessions, do even better if you left a review on Google for us. So we'll just share a review link on the chat. So please do click on that link and leave a review for us. So it will be shared in any minute now, the Google review, a link. And about our next session, you will get to know on Telegram when it will be and what it will be. Okay, so stay tuned and ensure that you join the session whenever we have it. So the review link will be shared. Yes, so the link is there. Please do click on it and leave a review. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you all for being here. It was wonderful having you here, wonderful reading your responses, answering your questions. So our email address, our contact numbers, WhatsApp numbers are all here. Okay, our Telegram channel anyway we've already spoken to you about. And please do follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, on Insta, and our YouTube channel is Ethnus Codemithra. You've already, I'm sure, joined it. If you have not, do subscribe to it. All right. Thank you once again. And again, wishing you all a happy Diwali, and we will meet again soon. Have a great evening.